Good afternoon. I'd like to open the um, Connersville Board of Aviation Commissioners meeting. I'd like to call that meeting to order, and initially like approval of the minutes from the previous meeting.
Make a motion?
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's so moved. Motion to approve the claims.
Make a motion.
We have a motion. Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. So moved. Paul?
Yeah. Well, they're still waiting on the design release on the hangar. That you signed those documents last month.
Right.
Usually only takes about 2 weeks, so it was a little shorter time frame from our meeting last month to this month. It's been 2 weeks, so yeah, I think they had one back and forth with the state, and they're waiting on that foundation release before it can start. Otherwise, the steel and the door have been delivered at the airport. Fortunately, we haven't really seen much activity beyond that. So as soon as they get that, they can get the state design release, they can pull their local permit and start. That's what we're waiting on. They did request payment for the steel, which is inappropriate. We, based on the specifications, as long as the stored materials are on site and we can prove that we have them, it is okay by the contract documents to pay for the steel. So we are going to ask you to pay for that steel today, and you'll see we've got 2 different grants on this for this first phase. That one is your normal AIP NPE fund, and the other is the IIJA, which is formerly known as BILL, Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. They just 2 different names, same grant. So you've got those 2 grants, AIP 32 and AIP 33. That'll cover the majority of the cost. It'll be about $9,000 shy. So this is where we needed the bank loan to start bridging until we get the next round of grants. They are starting to issue some of the next round of IIJA grants, and your NPE will all come definitely by September. That's the end of the fiscal year, and that will be what we use to pay the bank for this next installment. So, but we'll need to go ahead and start drawing on that bank money now, this is about the time we thought we would need to. So
What's our first draw? Was that 9,000?
yeah, I think Rosemary will have to.
Not me, Pete has to sign it.
Oh, you have to sign it.
That's why I'm asking how much is it? But
Oh, right. Yeah. I think we will take the amount. Yeah, I'll get you the exact amount, Pete.
Okay.
My computer's not responding to the internet here. Maybe it will now.
so we need a motion to authorize payment of AIP 32 and 33. Can we do that jointly, or do I need separate?
Yeah, let's do the progress estimate, the Thor construction for $400,028.85.
Motion?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's so moved. Then the motion to approve AIP 32.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's in the total amount of $125,279. And then you can see the FA share, the state share, and the local share of that respectively there.
And do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion. Do I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. And a motion for AIP 33.
Yep, AIP 33 is in the amount of $228,600.
Motion.
Make a motion.
We have a motion second.
Second.
We have a motion a second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is motion. AIP 33 is.
Yeah, so it looks like there will be a shortage between those two applications in the progress estimate. Will be a shortage of $6,829.96 that will come out of the bank money for right now.
What's our interest on that?
What's the
It's
6%?
it's 6.6 or 6.7. To be in municipal tax exempt.
We have money to come down without going to the bank.
We do have additional money in the airport improvement account that would cover that. And I think it's more than 6,000.
Yeah,
So,
it looks like it should be 46,149.
40, I thought-
Yeah,
okay, you said 46. I thought you said just 6.
Yeah, I thought he said 6. Did
I did say, because that's what she typed in. Oh,
So
that's wrong. She,
the grants are just,
Yeah, 'cause-
$353,879 and the
yeah,
pay request is 400,
yeah,
128.85, which would be 46,149.85.
that's where it comes.
149.85. And so, yes, I mean, we could pay for that out of the, I mean, I guess you guys can decide if you want to pay it out of the, it really shouldn't have come out. Well, the airport improvement fund is funded through the grants. And that's where we cycle the money in and pay out of. Where we have the capital, the non-reverting is the heater money sitting there that we could pay that out of. That way we don't have to draw down on the loan yet.
What's our balance in the capital improvement fund?
I don't know, I sent that out, but I didn't copy, I didn't.
58,789.24.
Okay.
What was it again?
58,789.24.
Do we have any future expenses, Nathan, that you think we would need?
Well, we can always draw down from First Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we feed this 2550 every month.
Yeah. From
Finish,
hydro.
finish mower would be nice to trade.
Finish what?
Finish mower.
Winter's coming.
Yeah, it's gonna tell.
Well, I mean, I
That's
think
what we have to do today.
the only other thing I've heard discussed is the insulation of the building. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which of the estimates. I think the one I got was.
I
like
only have a
30
hard copy of one estimate.
That was 35 and change.
Personally, if we do move forward with insulating the Quonset hut, I think that changes negotiating the rent.
Yes.
Because there's another added value there. I mean, we would have to go back to the drawing board on it. And I'm not saying we don't, because we haven't marketed the Quonset hut yet, I mean, and yeah, so I mean, we're not committed to anybody at this time,
Well, we
but.
do have an offer on the
We do.
table for the
We do.
Quonset hut.
Which we need to tell your current person there that, no, he can't move in yet until we have a signed contract.
And we can't have a signed contract until there's some language that I don't know if you saw it or not. And I know we're getting a little bit off subject. I was under the impression when they discussed rental of the Quonset hut last month, they had 4 planes. And they were gonna put their 4 planes in the Quonset. That's what I understood. Is that?
Yeah, that's true.
But then as I read this,
He's talking about sub leaks.
Right.
and I mean, in my mind, that shouldn't happen. that, you know, he's in competition with us then, and I don't think that's, again, that's not something that was discussed.
Should, should, should we, Nathan and I call them right now and tell them, hey, you know, we had, you know, you can't move in yet until we get some.
You know, I would hope they wouldn't move in until they had a signed agreement anyway.
Pete, if I remember right, they did talk about that, but they would only sublease it only if we didn't have any space available. If I remember right.
I apologize, I don't.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that.
Did they talk about subleasing under concern, is that only sublease it if all of ours were full, and there was no space available?
I wish they weren't talking about subleasing.
I do too.
I agree, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I think this sets us up for some level of liability.
Yeah, let's just leave it. Here's your hangar rent for your aircraft.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, I don't know. That makes.
I mean, that's $100 off of what we wanted.
Right.
Yeah, I think if there's any discussion, I don't know if there would be any discussion about prorating. Well, we've only got 3 planes. Can we reduce them? No,
No,
it's not.
I mean,
you know,
Yeah, you're renting the whole building for your aircraft.
another concern I have is to get another aircraft in there. This would be the 5th one. They want to tear down the office that's in the hangar. And I don't know how anyone feels about that.
I need them, I'm just asking, because I
I need
don't.
the office. Today, no. I mean, I don't think we need it today.
But there could be.
Yeah, if somebody came in with one nice airplane, they would probably utilize the office.
Yeah.
They put the
And then
records
the
in.
answer is if you tear down, once you leave, you gotta put it back. Or you have a rental deposit big enough to put it back.
Yeah.
And I don't think we don't have a contract. I was gonna say, we're not requesting a deposit. are we?
I mean, we'll ask for 2 months like everybody else. You know, 2 months. Of rent, which is standard on our lease.
Well, again, I think we need
Right.
to look carefully at this stuff, please. And does our insurance change? Our insurance, does it change if we're allowing them to sublease?
I don't know the answer to that, but it's a good question to ask.
Have we agreed, is it 900 a month plus utility? Is that,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
That's the offer on the table right
Yeah.
now.
that's what we're working with?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the word sublease when I read that.
No, I mean, well,
It's
I
like,
didn't either.
you know, that wasn't part, that's not what they asked for. It's not, I don't, but
I think that's in our lease agreement that there's no
No
sublease
yeah.
allowed. So we need to make a total different lease agreement for every one of it.
I think
No, in our existing lease agreement, there's no sublease.
Right.
So what are we gonna do with the,
I was asking, do we need to make a new one?
to allow some?
here's what happened when I rented that Quonset years ago. It was the same, you fill in the blank. A1, or it was the Quonset, and it's the same stuff throughout that. You change the
dollar figure.
dollar figure and the location. They should have their insurance agent send us a
certificate of liability.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of the certificate of liability, we want to be held harmless as opposed to additional insured. I think, is that correct, Dane?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if I have certificate of liabilities on everybody that has,
Supposed to.
hangars.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to send them to me every year.
Their insurance agent should send those every year, but that's been a struggle from the beginning of
I
time.
know, yeah.
It is, it's just keeping up with it. I know.
So to go back to the pay difference there, is that something we want to pay out of the capital improvement or just go ahead and pull down from the loan?
I think with it being a smaller amount, we could go ahead and pay it out of the non-reverting. That would be the best.
I think it's tomato. I think it's somewhat, I mean, we're gonna, yeah, I'm in favor of going ahead and just pull down from the loan. On that, so how would it work for me? Is it a conflict of interest for me to vote to take down, but to withdraw money, a construction loan from FCN Bank, considering I'm a board member of that bank? I should probably
Yeah.
abstain from
Yes.
voting.
Yeah, abstain
Because it can
from
look as a
voting.
propriety and
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yes,
Right.
somebody else needs to
Yeah.
make that motion too.
yeah,
Yeah. Anything regarding
financing.
Well,
the financing.
Yeah.
Abstain.
Okay, so we need a motion to pay.
The balance after the grants,
Of
$46,149.85 out of the non-reverting.
motion, please. We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Oh. Okay.
Nathan, real quick, yes. Ballpark figure on the finish mode, 6, 7 grand, 8 grand.
More like 18, 19,
Yeah.
20 now.
Oh, it's like buying a car.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that much.
I mean,
Those shows
high-size
went from like
mower is
15 grand
14.
to 24.
But didn't we just buy a mower within the last 5
See,
years?
now that he knows that we have some money.
We don't have it, we just spent it. No, that's not- Didn't we just buy a mower?
I think we bought one maybe 10, 11 years.
Come on, Jeff.
What I'm talking about is that.
Oh, no,
Right, Nathan?
Go ahead, our Batwing? No, we did 6 or 7 years.
I was gonna say, since
You had a
I've been
chance.
here.
Oh, yeah.
What's the life expectancy so we can plan for it in the future?
6.5 years. I don't know, maybe 10. I don't know.
Are you talking about like a zero turn mower?
No.
That
Batwing.
Okay,
We're back to track.
those things have gotten so expensive.
Yeah.
Within just.
That's
crazy.
But it's obviously, it's still running good now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
In case you haven't learned, he's a farmer. So if it's green and it's new, he needs it. Is that right?
We could use auto steer.
But I will say, when I looked at your planner, you had it in there at the field. I'm like, man, that thing looks brand new.
It was.
But it's not though, is it? It's got a few years on it.
Which one was it? Oh, yeah, yeah, it was new last year.
Oh, well, it looks really good. I can tell, obviously you
He
take
takes.
good care of the equipment. So,
Anything else, Paul?
No, thank you. And they texted and said they got the foundation release, so I've asked them for a schedule, a printing schedule, because they haven't provided one of those yet. I'll email it out when I get that.
All right, let's move on to old business.
Airstrip Attack, the guys with the drag racing cars, they're going to be here. Same
Okay,
case.
Monday, right?
Yeah, next Monday. They'll be here at 11 o'clock at the airfield. Mr. Mayor, I know you said you were out, not available. Can we have a representative from the police and the fire there just for a couple hours? Is that possible?
Don't know the answer to that.
I mentioned it to one of them, and they used profanity. I just thought I'd tell you. What time are they coming?
11 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I know I cannot.
Yeah.
Is it the 31st?
No, it's
Next Monday?
Yeah.
25th or 26th,
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. It's obviously the weekend of the race for 500, and so he's in town for that. Just figured he'd swing down and take a look at our things. He wants to look at our field. I sent you the text message.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, if we can, it'd be great if we can have. I mean, it doesn't. To me, I don't think it has to be the police chief or anybody like that. I mean, it could anybody that can just at least answer a few questions, or at least take some information and not make any decisions.
Might be best to have him write down a list of questions that he has and then give us time to work on and get the answer. Might be
Okay.
the best thing to do.
It's fun.
Just because I can't be there. It's gonna be a rough day to get him on here.
Yeah. Okay.
And the guys who probably can won't be able to answer the questions. I'll just write them down and give them to us anyway.
Okay.
And we've had, is that it? Yeah. Anything else?
No, that was it.
We've had some discussion here about the hangar, and that falls under whole business and
Did you guys decide that no subleasing? Was that the final? Okay, so then we don't need to change the lease. Up to you guys. I mean, I don't think he should move in before signing a lease. I guess that's up to you. I know he's moving from a different hangar to.
The Quonset.
I guess,
I guess that's what's in his mind is why I have a lease on it, but get the lease signed and then you can decide when to have him move in, you know. And then I guess if we aren't changing anything about the subleasing requirements, then I don't need to.
I think we need to make it clear that that's not
an option.
an option. Yeah.
Well, it's already in the lease, but
And if
do
you
you want me to print out a new lease that it's capitalized and bold and bigger font or?
No, I mean, I
you
think it's been that way for years.
we just might highlight,
Yeah.
I go through my leases line by line with people. That way
Yeah.
there aren't any questions.
just,
We're not hiding. So every time I do a lease, we literally, and mine's leases are 16 pages. They take a while. I
yeah,
go through line by line.
I think that's just opening up a can of worms. And then you're gonna have other people who want to sublease because they found out this guy is subleasing and then.
Yeah.
You know,
And did we address the issue?
of the office.
The office, yes.
If you're gonna, I mean, I think that falls under anytime somebody, you know, makes changes to something they're renting, they have to put it back the way it was before. Is there language in the lease to that effect, or do we need to add some? I mean, I think, you know,
I'm sure there probably is.
are you,
No altercations.
are you anticipating him being there a long time?
Yeah, I'd
I would
say,
think, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
the way they talk, yeah.
yeah, they're pretty active too.
Then I would just go over that in detail, that that's fine if they remove it, but they're responsible for either putting an office back in or it's gonna come out of their deposit. And if it costs more
They
than
don't
their
have a
deposit.
deposit.
Okay,
Oh, wait a minute.
That's what will make them do a 2-month deposit, just like.
Yeah. and then
Does
if
the
that
other
does,
ones have 2 months deposits? I didn't know that.
yeah, I heard him say you do 2 months.
Yeah.
But he's responsible, if the deposit doesn't cover the office, he's gonna be responsible for anything to replace it, so. And that should be fine.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this isn't a fancy office, but.
I build it. It's pretty
So
old.
you can build it again down the line if you need to.
I shouldn't say me, Nathan's father, myself.
Okay, before he moves in, there's one other item I think we need to discuss. And I think we might have spent the money for it now, but the insulating the building.
I got some quotes still.
Right now, $900 a month covers it the way it is with the new door.
Plus,
Unless you don't go these. If you look at that, or if maybe we let them go in there and decide, hey, if we need to do it, then we need to raise the rent.
what, the office?
The insulation.
You're talking about insulating the
Insulation.
building, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, the only reason I mention it now, it'd be much easier to do before somebody moves in than once they move it.
Well, let's just go, we're gonna go back to them and say, okay, we're gonna insulate this thing. We're going up to $1,500 a month.
And they'll say.
I don't- we're not- If I agreed to $900 on the hanger that was there,
Yeah,
I don't mind. I think it'd be great to have it insulated, but it'd be tough to say, ooh, what now? I don't want to pay $1,200 or $1,300 a month.
yeah.
I don't know. Tim, what's your thoughts? I know you'd like to have it insulated.
It's more expense to recoup.
If he's he's gonna be a long-term, occupant, should we just give him the option?
I mean, that's a possibility. He's not mentioned insulating, hasn't Nathan?
No,
He's happy with the way it is right now.
Yeah, I just,
He did talk about having a heater in there
yeah, I just
because it wasn't a special.
noticed the other day when I was out there, I mean, with the door closed, you can watch the stars.
If we think that he's looking at long term, do we sign him to like a 5-year lease with an escalator in there annually? And then is that possible, or do we want to not do that and tie ourselves up into that?
I say we do it. I mean, that's my opinion. Let's try it for a year as is at 900. You know, if he says, man, it'd be nice to have it insulated.
Okay.
Then we come back to, I don't know. I mean, no, that's my opinion. He's agreed to that, but if he comes back and says, yeah, I'm sure like to have it insulated.
I think you're right. I think maybe a 1-year deal would be best even for us. Not that we would try to price him out of there, but if you look, I've looked at just one other, like at any Metro, Tom Woodford, they've got a roughly, I don't know the details of it. I don't know if it's heated and cooled and insulated. I don't know anything about it, but a hanger roughly our size, 60 by 80. I think it was going for over. It's a different market, I understand.
About 2,200.
Yeah, it was $2,200 somewhere around there. And I think maybe sticking to a 1 year, and I'm not saying that we come in over the top and say, well, now your renewal is going to be $1,400 a month for the same amenities, but I think we maybe keep our options open because we haven't done any marketing for it. And it's great to have those guys on the field because they are active, A&P, accessible. It's great, but we have to also be.
Well, we don't want to tie our hands.
Yeah, fair to the
I like the idea of having somebody in there with a new building coming. That makes me feel better that we're,
Yeah.
but I thought the building would be half done by now, too,
They're our engineering firm. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do.
You said a couple weeks, on this right, maybe a couple weeks.
So on the lease,
To start.
on the lease, Rick, it's 30s at all. We're saying 1 year. Is there any provision in there for an automatic renewal? Is there a provision that says automatic renewal unless either party within so many days
30 days prior to expiration kind of thing.
notifies? Is that something we'd want to do that way?
Mr. Mayor,
I stay away from those.
The only issue is if they're gonna discuss insulation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we would, and I'm assuming if he's like, yes, insulate, then we're gonna have to change the lease because price is gonna go up. So maybe not this year do an automatic renewal, but wait and see what his answer is there.
I'll just ask it, is that in the language? And if it isn't,
I don't think it is. I think you can,
So you-
but you could rent a T hanger out there, which is the same lease for 6 months and say, hey, guys, I'm gonna move my plane out.
Did you start having them sign a new lease in January of each year?
Can we move that to January or is it when we start? I
When
can't
did
remember.
when did we do the rating freeze? Excuse me.
A year ago, maybe.
yeah, you're ago.
They re-signed then, didn't they?
No,
So you have a lease on Mr. Yarian's hangar for the old rate? not the new
no,
rate?
not Kevin.
Okay, so
It's possible, yeah.
of other
We need to
occupants,
redo the.
Anybody that-
numbers.
yes, you gotta have new leases on what they're current paying.
Okay.
I can't remember one time maybe we did switch to January. It's very difficult.
We talked about it last year. About going to January.
Well, whatever date it is, we just need to make sure. We probably need to have, hey, this is the new year. We're paying this.
I mean.
And I thought we discussed looking at the rate again because we took it to 250, which was still below market. Oh, we took it to 200, which was still below market.
Does anybody know what Richmond's paying?
What? Yeah, we've talked about it.
I'm not sure where they are, where they're at now.
I mean, call around.
You call Richmond, maybe Greensburg, Shelbyville.
Anderson.
Yeah, get a,
They were closed, like Newcastle was cheaper, but they got a gravel floor, no partitions and that kind of stuff, so. But Richmond has comparable hangers to us, and we looked before when we were they were talking about raising rent rates.
speaking of lease payments and whatnot, is it possible that, because I know the payments go to the city, correct?
Mhm.
Is there any way you can get it set up on ACH to do electronic as opposed to a check?
Well, we can set it up for the airport, credit cards now,
Okay.
where you would pay the fee.
Mhm.
Whoever's using the credit cards.
Okay.
I would just have to get a different, link set up and we can actually have it on that page.
Okay. I just had a couple of people ask if there's an opportunity to do electronic instead of check.
I would have to check on the ACH. Cause the utilities has ACH.
Yeah.
That doesn't apply to us here. Individuals can set that up.
Well,
ACH payments.
if it was me, I would go in there, go into my personal, checking account and say, pay the city of Connersville first of every month, $200. And that check will be there first of the month for $200, if that's how they want to do that.
Yeah.
But I do that for a storage unit.
Sure.
So, that'd be similar, but I can also check on ACH capabilities and I can also get a link for credit card payments on, the webpage. What's the timing on the new?
I got a meeting tomorrow, tomorrow.
We can get it on the current webpage now and, as soon as I get it.
That's fine. Yeah, like I said, I just had a couple of people ask, is it possible to do that? So you can ask them.
It is. We'll try to get it going. Which reminds me, I do need a new picture of the airport, but I'll need a new one after the hangar too. So might as well wait until after the hangar and then I need a new picture.
You have a drone, Pete, still? Did you?
I can do
You
it.
take a picture? Yeah.
So next month I'll have a new picture.
There's a cost associated with me taking that up. Just thought we can discuss it later.
That's the wrong person.
I better drone my screen.
He's just trying to get food.
I know, that's why I said that.
Okay, moving on to new business.
Did anybody discuss, I got an email about the fire pit. Anybody?
Oh, yeah. We talked about it briefly, but we didn't make a decision. I spoke with, who did I talk to? You were there.
Jack, it was Jack.
Was it Jack?
Jack Albright.
We probably need to talk to Scott Jones because it is in the city limits, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Is the whole airport in city limits? I don't think so.
All it, it's not, I think Max was trying to get it annexed,
Yeah,
but it's not all.
it's not all
I
the
don't
city.
think it all is. I can't remember.
Part of it's in the county and.
But, the issue becomes, and the mayor raised the same point discussion I had with you.
Mm-hmm.
From a, safety perspective, somebody's coming in at night and the fire pit's going and they run into a hangar. Don't think that would happen, but
What was the location everyone put it by the,
can you pull it up, Mr. Nick?
oh, well, I've got a live stream on. Is it next to the Pluses Hut? The only one?
No, it's the northeast or northwest
Stuff on, sorry.
There's a field right here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be my concern would be, cause I don't know if that's a bean field, I'd go for a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah, but Mr. Mayor, it's Jeff's, so if he okay, then do you really care?
Oh, no, that was my only concern. 'cause
Maybe during drought
I didn't
conditions.
know you could have fire pits and stuff in airports. I didn't have any idea. So,
You know,
Well, there'd be a no burn at that time.
Right.
in support of what they're trying to do, they want it, based on my discussions, they want to have more community involvement and recognition for the airport. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I think there are people that really don't even know what's out there.
I think also he was thinking about, there's a lot of guys, or several guys that they kind of hang out at the airport now that's got hangars. And it was more of a,
Gathering,
the guys just get together and, burn some wood.
why?
You say why?
Oh, yeah.
Liars Club.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, I don't think the intention is to put a fire pit in for, to draw community members out there and, hey, we're gonna have a cookout. It's not.
Place to hang out.
It's a
Yeah.
Yeah, but like if you got 3 or 4 guys that are gonna get around, throw a couple logs on the fire with a fire pit, sit around and talk, you know,
Maybe hamburgers,
throw a couple hot dogs, everybody's eating, and then we got, let's make sure this is extinguished, properly and put it out, call it good. There's no, because it's really random, but smaller airports, and I'm not saying this would be a draw, but you can go to Greensburg and they have ice cream there. A lot of people fly in just to grab ice cream. You can go to Shelbyville and they got a really nice FBO and you can stop in and get a coffee, and they've got like this elaborate display of like cookies and stuff, because Jet, I can't remember who's there for like a flight school, but yeah, just other things, and with light sport guys that have smaller planes at very small radius, they fly something.
oh, that's fine. I just don't know anything about it.
No, it's okay.
Ask the questions.
He
I like the idea of having things bring people in, and that was one of the discussions eventually we need to have is just with the SB1 and everything passing, we need to find a way to make the airport more self-sustaining and off of our tax dollars.
Mhm.
So we've got to look at our rents, we've got to look at our fuels, we've got to look at anything to get income because our income is shrinking.
Yeah.
So we've got to be self-sustaining.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, especially with having, leasing out our laydown yard, hoping, this hangar will bring some revenue after we get it built. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Getting the Quonset hut rented, keeping the hangars full. I think that, fuel prices are competitive. But yeah, I mean, I think we got an amazing airport. Really.
We do.
Beautiful.
I mean, you go to some other airports, and I'm not dogging them by any means, but
You can.
they don't have the amenities.
No.
The runway we have is amazing,
Absolutely.
and so, we're very fortunate we have that and able to be upkeep on it. But yeah, I think, little stuff like that is a start, and I think this airstrip attack, I'd like to talk to them, and I haven't committed to anything. Obviously, I don't have that authority, but I'm just saying, getting them here and talking to them.
Absolutely.
What kind of revenue is that going to generate for the airport? People
Absolutely.
coming in, because that thing in Marion, I mean, this is a national company that from Texas to California to, I know he's got down in Georgia, here and Marion, and we can be, I think they do maybe just like 9 or 10 events out of the year.
What kind of revenue? Just the entrance fees?
Could be
I mean,
entrance fees. And
Interest fees for the racers or interest
Well,
fees for the spectators?
those
Because
are
I'm gonna
great
tell you,
questions. I'm going to ask them Monday.
because the interest fees for the spectators was pain and
I would like to think, no, I do not. I would like to think that, they have those details ironed out. This is a system, good
I
process.
bet they do.
And I mean, to where it's like, hey, this is what you're going to get, and this is what we're going to get. This is how this works, and this is what you can expect. And we're going to do all the marketing for you, and we're going to bring this in. But they do need help, as referenced in this text. They do need help from police, EMS, fire to maintain those things during that event. I think it's a 1-day event. And then if not, if we can't, then we would have,
I mean,
somehow figure out how to pay for that.
we had all that support when we did the
Yeah.
food truck down there. So I mean,
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what he has to say next Monday. We'll go from there. But yeah, I'll certainly get a list of questions and write everything down and get to him. And I think he'll understand. I mean, it's Memorial Day, and if people have other obligations, if this or any other Monday, no problem getting people there. But
Well,
it's tough. So
it's correct. Yeah. I will be available via phone if you need me.
okay,
I just,
No, it's
I
okay.
have a graduation party I'm getting ready for my
Yeah.
daughter, so.
Yeah.
And I've spent the last 3 months working on Market Street, so my wife.
That's a higher priority.
I've got to get this done.
I want to thank you for that too. I
You're welcome.
seen you up in the lift, doing things.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that, really.
And I was just showing, I got this from, the FAA this morning, which is unique because they're sending, the FAA has sent this out. Randolph County 74th annual fly-in breakfast on June 7th. As information. But it's strange that it came from the FAA.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think there's, I mean, a lot of activity. I think having people like the Albrights up there, there's some people that are up there almost every day, every other day, very active. And I wouldn't, even the flying club, with what we do, I think that, if there's a lot of interest in organizing a fly-in, I mean, there's some possibility there, even just to showcase, but obviously you can do breakfast or a lunch or something out. Hagerstown just had one a couple weeks ago, the EAA.
They still do their fish fry up there or
I
something?
believe so.
Yeah.
And they do a breakfast and they do everything. And it's just a grass strip. It's
Yeah.
just light sport. Just come in but you wouldn't believe the participation.
I think they had over 75 planes up there last week.
A couple weeks ago on that Saturday was
Yeah.
last week. Yeah. Yeah.
We've got plenty of space to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, and then, to the really wouldn't benefit the airport necessarily. I mean, maybe through fuel fees and stuff, but we're looking to try to expand our club, do some marketing on the east side of Indy and flying over to Indy Metro, Indy Regional, maybe Shelbyville. But cost per flight instruction up there is astronomical. I mean, you've got to rent a plane for $210 an hour, then instructors at $80. So you're looking at almost $300 an hour for somebody to learn. Well, you can do it here if you join our club with the CFI course for $150 an hour. It's half the price. So, I mean, I think me and Dakota, he's our CFI, we're going to utilize, probably start flying to some of those airports and put some posters up, trying to get some awareness and some marketing out there, and try to get a couple members. So,
What are memberships?
how much are they?
25?
No, 20, I think 2,300, but you get your money back when you're done. So if you fly, it takes you a year or 2 years to get your certificate, you want to get out of the club, you get your full investment fee back.
Any additional new business?
Are we gonna take a vote on the fire pit and allowing them, or
Oh, well, I guess we never really
Right.
discussed it.
Well,
I mean, that's-
are we gonna take a vote on the agreed rate for the Albrights and the Quonset?
As far as the fire pit, if Nathan and Jeff's good with it, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Jack Albright, that kid,
Yeah,
he said he would do all the work, which I like that.
we were looking at him the other day.
What about the maintenance of it as far as, these guys have to go out there with a string trimmer and do it, or will the people that keep that out so that they're not, they can make a round
Yeah,
and
I
keep
know what
it
you're saying, that's a good question.
We don't mind taking care of it, really. I mean, we can even.
Yeah, that's all we can. I told we mow around it.
I thought if they would keep it trimmed back.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
And then just, all you got to do, go around and
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think
I
that's.
bet they probably would.
Okay, so do we need a motion to allow?
Hold on a second here.
Hmm.
I'm checking something.
And see if it's,
It is in city limits there.
Is it?
Yeah, so. I
is
need
that
to
gonna
check.
find where I can put the, drop down the,
Yeah, I'm on GIS and it shows anything at point or -008 is city limits and that is in 008. So we'd have to talk to fire chief about that as well.
we need fire chief approval.
We can get them, can we have a motion to allow it pending approval of fire chief?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion, second discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And what was the other one?
The Albright 900 plus utilities with no sublease. If he
And-
takes the office down, he's responsible to replace it. And then in the future, we'll have to renegotiate if we put installation in.
Yeah. the improvements.
And non-compete.
No sublease.
I said no
The
sublease.
same thing. I mean, I guess, yeah.
I mean, they can't set up fuel or anything. It's in that lease. You know,
Right.
They can't compete against the city, so I think. Let them and look at it, but I think we're okay there with that lease. Yeah, start.
Yeah, again, the biggest concern for me is that we're protected.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree.
So we need a motion for that.
It's a good idea.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion to accept
900 plus utilities, no sublease. If he takes the office down, he's responsible to replace it. And one lease before and the lease is subject to if we add installation.
quick question thought. Okay. They take the office down. The purpose of doing that would be allow to get another wing. So does the rate stay the same? We're basing this on four planes, right?
Well, I mean, what if he sells all 4 planes and buys one? You know, I mean,
Yeah,
it can
it's
kind of,
really not.
I think we're releasing the space and not the utilization of the
Yeah,
space.
nobody's using it for.
But
Yeah,
you're
the
right.
space is changing. I mean, it doesn't matter.
In my opinion, it's the same.
Still the same square footage. I mean, but yeah, I agree. You gotta put the walls back up, take them down,
Yeah.
in the same condition they were in, not 2x4s and OSB. It's drywalled out in there. So
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Andy,
We have a second?
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Questions, comments from those in attendance? Anybody got anything?
We're gonna deal with this right after the meeting. So.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
motion.
Second, and we are adjourned. Thank you all.